guys, so my independent study this semester was called Women in Business, Putting It into Action. Last semester, my independent study was also about women in business, but more about their successes and setbacks. I read a book last semester. I did 3 case studies, 2 women that I had to look up and research online, and then 1 woman that I interviewed myself. And I took all of those things that I've learned, all those lessons, and I wanted to put them into action by creating a business myself. So this semester, I built and launched a website for Rooted in Her. It's a podcast that I made last summer interviewing Phoenix entrepreneurs, and then putting those case studies that I did last semester onto the website, and also a platform for These Dates, which is my business that I'll go into a little bit more later. And then a part of the business, I wrote a business plan, I did field research, and I documented what worked and what didn't so that I could work on it this summer and even in the fall. So this is the website. This is like how I designed it. I used Lovable. It's a platform where it's AI, which I could use to edit it differently. At Asmus Herrings, I had so many different versions of the website between fonts and colors and layouts, which was really interesting. I kind of just kept going at it until I found it until I liked. So I have the home, the case studies, podcast, These Dates, which is the business, and then about me and why I want to learn about women in business and how to join. So this is the podcast page. It has a direct link to Spotify, and it's each 30 to 45 minutes of me just interviewing founders, and yeah. This is the case studies page, which Candace Nelson and Susie Bates, I don't know them personally, but they're CEOs of Sprinkles Cupcakes and Poopery, which is a really interesting company that I got to learn more about last semester. Okay, the product. So These Dates is a savory sautéed date condiment inspired by South Indian flavors and Muslim cooking. Growing up, going to India every summer, during Ramadan, we would have a lot of dates because that's what we would break our fast with. So by the end of Ramadan, when Eid rolls around, we would have so many dates. And my grandmother had a walking group. She used to go every morning, and her friends had the same problem. But they didn't know what to do with them, so that they created These Dates, a date condiment for the end of Ramadan celebration Eid. They would have biryani, so they would have the dates with the biryani. So it was a way for them to use what they already had and to create something new, which I think is really interesting. I also wanted to focus on how there's no artificial preservatives, but instead spices that act as natural preservatives, which are fenugreek, cumin seeds, and mustard seeds. And whole ingredients, and the packaging is an 8-ounce glass jar with the label and the ingredients. So last night I made some, and oh, no, wait, how do I? Oh. Okay, well there's a video, but I'm not sure how to play it. Is it okay if it's really interesting, I promise, guys. Okay. Here it is. Oh, it's not letting me do it. It's okay. I'll show it to you guys later. So a part of my business plan was to do field research, and the reason why I wanted to do this is because Indian food in the West is so oversimplified. It's usually just butter chicken, other curries, and rice, but there's so much more to Indian food than just that, especially because those things are mostly North Indian. And the West hasn't really been introduced to South Indian flavors yet, which I think is really interesting, and in my opinion, better than North Indian food. Asian food is also becoming trendy, but it lacks authenticity. So with matcha and other trends, but it's also an opportunity for Gen Z to try new food, which I think is really interesting. And another problem that I found was that Dadi's Dates wasn't fitting into any Indian condiment kind of like category. So there's masala, which is blended spices, which Dadi's Dates has in it. Achar, which is pickled fruits and vegetables, kind of like the Indian version of kimchi. And then chutney, which is like side sauces, completely blended and also like usually like dipped in with things. So Dadi's Dates is a whole fruit, so it doesn't really fit into any of these, which I thought was really cool too. So the reason why I did the business plan is because it was kind of just like this platform that I could put all of my information to and kind of even like show to potential investors this summer. So I focused on how existing products in the market rely heavily on preservatives. This was like really interesting to me, considering that South Asian bodies are very different to the ones in the Southwest because of famine, because of the British in India. So all of these preservatives are actively harming South Asian bodies, but that is the exact audience that they're marketing to. There's a gap in the market for products that are, again, authentic, and then my audiences were mainly for Gen Z because they're actively trying new global foods, and South Asian Americans, yeah, like in the US. I wanted to use visual identity of the grandmother for like a homey feel, especially because biryani is such an important part of Muslim culture and Indian culture. So yeah. And then this is how I did the pricing. So I settled on $9 for 8 ounces of product, and with that I get 40% back, and for eventually I could reduce, have enough money to reduce the price lower. So now I have some like sampling cups, and that is a QR code for a Google form if you guys have any feedback for me. Okay. And then my next steps, I have an interview set up with a small business owner that worked in corporate America for 8 years at Gap, so she understands like to give me advice about my business plan. And then I'm gonna launch an online order option for Dadi's Dates on the Rooted in Her website, and then I'm going to do a case study on myself and what I found in the lessons of creating my own business. And finally, I'm going to bring Dadi's Dates to a summer business program at Rice University, where you like bring already existing businesses to kind of just network and talk to people what works, what doesn't in business. So yeah, thank you.